Hi y'all, welcome to It's Happy Outside Homestead. I just wanted to share with y'all this week so far okra harvest. This is approximately 3 days, and yes, I do have it in water, but it is really full. And this is a good sized bowl, as you can see. Here in the South, if you're a gardener, you're more than likely growing okra. And about this time, you're probably looking for ways to do something different with it. So today, I'm going to show you 3 things that I'm doing with my okra. I like to scrub my okra off, and right now I'm looking for the ones that are a little bit bigger. You'll be amazed that you can still use these okras even though they've gotten quite large. So I'm going to go through these, keep scrubbing them off, the ones that need to be, and drying them. And then I'll show you what we're going to do next. All right, I've got my okra separated into 3 different categories. So now it's time to show you what I have planned for these different categories of okra. I'm going to cut off all the tips, and as you can see, these are pretty woody. These were let to go, and yes, I could turn these into seed, but I've already saved a lot of these for seed. So this is something that we really enjoy, and I'm sure you will too if you enjoy okra. Cut these with a really sharp knife and thin. And trust me, I've done this before, and they will get crunchy. So I'm going to keep cutting this and be back with you when I get to the end of all these. Once you have all of these cut up, you're going to put some olive oil on them. Seasoning of your choice, and I'm not going to measure this out. I'm going to put about probably like half a teaspoon to a teaspoon salt. About half a teaspoon of pepper. This is some garlic powder that I made. Put about a teaspoon of that. And about a teaspoon of onion powder. Now we're going to just blend these up, and we're going to use our hands to do this so that we can coat all of this okra. And if you see that it doesn't have enough oil because you want these to be coated, you can add a little bit more, or more spice, whatever you like. You can even add more salt to these once they're done. It's your choice. But this is going to be another way to use up that okra, and you're going to be so happy you did, because these make a great snack. I don't know if I told y'all, this is going to be okra chips. I wish you could smell how good they smell. I think I've got these blended up pretty well. Of course, you're going to get stuff all over your fingers. It's just par for the course. But that's okay, because you're going to make your family really happy by making these. I've taken the trays out of my dehydrator, and I am using some parchment paper. Don't use wax paper in your dehydrator. Use parchment paper. And then just kind of crinkle it up a little bit so it'll lay flat. And then what I like to do is I take my okra slices and I just put them on the tray like this, and then I spread them out. You want these all to be single file as well. I mean, it probably won't matter if they overlap a little bit, but if you can, single them out. That way it cuts down on the dehydrating time. That's why we're cutting them thin, so they can get done, so we can have them to snack on. I'm gonna fill up a few more trays. As you can see, I still have a bowl full. And when I get to the end, I'll get back with you. I've got them, I used all 6 trays, as you can see. Close it up. And it's plugged in, turn it on. Oops, it needs to be down to 149. Timer, I'm going to time it for 8 hours. And then we'll check them when it's ready. I'm telling you guys, and you can do this in an oven too. You don't have to have a dehydrator like this. These are amazing, and you're going to thank yourself for being able to use woody okra and make something delicious and edible out of it. The next ones that I'm going to be cutting up are the ones that are ready to be eaten now. And some of them curved a little bit too much, so they won't be good for the third project. So now I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut all the stems off. And I'm going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. About that size. That's good for frying or for soups, your gumbos, and things like that. Next, I'm going to ideally I would have a whole piece. It's okay if you don't, they'll still come off. But this just makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes you have to use like a little pancake turner or something to get them off. And you're just going to lay these out flat, single file, not overlapping them, onto the tray. These Alabama red, I cut a little bit thinner because they are wider. And it just makes for a better bite. Nobody wants a huge piece of okra in their mouth at one time, I don't think. I'll choke on it. Ooh, see, that's a small one, but did you hear that when I cut into it? It's really woody. I'm not gonna put that one in here. That one might go into my other. So, I'm going to continue to do this, and then I'll be back with you. And once you get all of those cut up, this is what it should look like. Place these inside the freezer and let them sit here for about an hour to an hour and a half, and they should be frozen by that time. Third and final way to make okra, we're going to use a cup of vinegar. And in this bowl, I have 2 teaspoons of pickling spices, or mixed pickling spices, 2 teaspoons of salt, and about a teaspoon and a half of sugar. I've also got these 2 peppers I'm going to cut up lengthwise and put into the pot. Fire on and let it come to a slow boil. So while our vinegar mixture with the pickling spices is boiling, we're going to get our jar ready so that when that's done, we can finish the process. We're going to put 4 cloves of peeled garlic, and I don't have any fresh dill, but I do have some that I dehydrated, so I'm gonna put like a teaspoon in here as well. Next, I'm going to take these okra, and I tried to pick out ones that are pretty straight and similar in size, and I am going to cut them down and just start filling this jar up. Make sure you cut those stems off so they won't be so. Just go back in. One up, one down, one up, one down. Got the bottom pretty much filled, so now I'm going to start trying to fill in with some of these smaller ones. So guys, we've got our jar full. So let me check on the spice mixture. Okay. This has come to a boil. So we're going to just pour it into our pan, into our jar. And since my jar is a wide mouth, it makes it really easy to do it. Next, you're going to get some distilled water. And I have a little bit of this in here, so I'm going to just pour some of the water in here to blend it around. And I'm going to pour this in there. I still have a little more room for water, so I'm going to pour just a little bit more in. Get my little pusher in there. I don't know what you call it. Just a little stick that you use to get everything down. So here is the last way to use that okra. I'm going to let this sit here until it cools down a little bit before I put a lid on, and then I'm going to pop it in the fridge and leave it for about 3 days, and then they'll be ready to chow down on. And trust me guys, you'll really enjoy these. They're really good. They'll be gone before you know it, and you'll have to make some more. So get your bag ready. Guess I've got too many things going on over here. It looks like a mess. And these have been in the fridge for an hour. Hear that? They're like ice cubes now. And you're just gonna put them in your bag. And you will have these for another time when you need some fresh okra that you grew yourself. So you know it's gonna be tasty and chemical free. It has been 8 hours, and look what we have, guys.
But I want to now. Whenever you go too far, I will be there to pull you back every second.
I don't know if you can hear the crunch, but they're very crunchy. And this is after 8 hours, and then I let them sit in the dehydrator overnight. If you've enjoyed saving okra with me 3 different ways today, don't forget to like and remember to subscribe.